why Blox Update 20 was overhyped. Update 20 of Blox was released recently, but it was at the cost of Roblox's servers repeatedly going down. In today's video, I'll be discussing Blox and figuring out what went wrong with Update 20. Without further ado, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get straight into this discussion. Exhibit A. Was Update 20 worth the wait? For context, Update 20 of Blox took over a year to actually get pushed out. In a tweet that was made back in February confirming this massive update. And from what I can tell, this update we received really wasn't all that massive. Now, I'm aware that the update is split into parts, but this wasn't confirmed until a day before the update's release, which is terrible communication on the devs' part. So that doesn't really excuse them for dropping this update so unfinished. Let's look into the actual update and what we got from it. The main thing about this update was the addition of a new raid boss system and a revamp to some of the swords in the game, including the infamously bad Dark Blade, as it was literally the most useless game pass for a long time. But now it finally got a rework along with a few other blades within the game. Also, they changed the fruit models themselves into some childish pet simulator designs, which obviously was made to cater more towards children for the game. Another reason this change was made was due to Blox essentially being at risk of copyright from Toei Animation, which are the owners of the One Piece IP. So that's why names were changed, like Paw to Pain, because of the fear that they would be taken down due to copyright infringement. We got two raid bosses, the Leviathan and the Terror Shark raid boss, and what came with that was the addition of the also overpowered Shark Anchor. The main issue with the two bosses is that they really aren't even designed to be a raid boss. Again, it's just a brain dead, spam moves till the boss dies type of boss, when raid bosses are actually supposed to have mechanisms and be hard to take down. But of course they had to dumb it down for the Blox kiddos, so I understand, but still doesn't change the fact that it's designed poorly. They did add some new boats and even gave away a free boat that was decently fast. They did add a new island, which is again a mostly empty island, but on the island you have more pointless grind. That means absolutely nothing but to get the player to keep playing for longer than an hour and farm premium payout. On the island you have a new weapon enchanter, which allows you to exchange a scroll for new buffs on your weapons, which I guess is pretty cool, and it makes the weapons a lot more useful in the game, but some of the buffs are just plain out just bad or make the weapons worse in a way. Now on to the two main fruits they added, which was Mammoth and the Sound Fruit. It took them 9 months to add this, by the way. Pretty underwhelming, to be honest. Like, yes, these fruits are strong, but come on, is this really what we waited for? My main issue about this update was the lies from the devs promising things like the island reworks, progression reworks, and fruit reworks. The only sword to really get a model rework was the Dark Blade. The other swords literally looked the exact same, and only a few of those even got new moves and effects. They lied just to get people excited, then hid behind the, oh, we're going to split the updates into parts right before the launch of the actual update. Like, you can't fool me. The update at max that we have literally took probably a few weeks to probably a couple months to make, not to mention the fact that the game hasn't received a big update in about a year. So what did we wait for in all reality? And in the tweet I showed earlier, a lot of these updates were done back in February, like some of the map reworks. So what happened between that time and now, and what took you so long, and why is it not mostly already in the game? Why do you make your players wait for months with no content at max level? Let's not forget that Blox devs have a history of lying about what is actually in certain updates. Like, Race 4 wasn't actually in the game at first when it was announced, and people had to wait weeks for that to actually be added to the game, just to fool the community to get them to play and waste their time trying to find it. I simply just don't agree how updates are done with this game and so many other games in the Roblox anime community, as so many devs have a habit of leaving their community in the dark with hardly any communication for months on end. And in my opinion, this has to be changed, since devs on the platform are making millions of dollars. Like, they're not broke. They can easily communicate with their fans. Exhibit B. When Update 20 broke Roblox. Well, when Update 20 dropped, and even before it dropped, Blox had so many players that it managed to overload the terrible Roblox servers and made the site crash repeatedly. Roblox was struggling to maintain the servers due to just how many people were trying to access the game at once. The update itself even was delayed because of these server shutdowns. People are even speculating that that may have been the reason for the lackluster update. I'm here to debunk that now. The devs already had prepared the update before the servers had shut down, so that the servers shutting off had nothing to do with what was actually pushed out for the update. The only thing that was affected was the release time, and that was it. But I will say this, it is not Blox's fault that the player count was so high that it crashed the Roblox servers. That was completely out of their control. All we can hope for is that David Baszucki decides to upgrade his horrible servers in the future with the billions of dollars he has accumulated from exploiting children. Exhibit C. The YouTuber problem. Many YouTubers also overhyped the update to the extreme for clickbait. YouTubers like Captain Maui and many others kept lying to their audience, promising things things that were never even confirmed to be getting added, and just flat out lying, saying that they had exclusive information on the update, which they didn't, obviously. It led to the update 20 being severely overhyped and damaged what could have been regarded as at least a decent update, if not for many YouTubers posting garbage update 20 clickbait content. Exhibit D, what should be changed in update 20? The one major issue that Blox has had since launch is the fact that it isn't a true MMORPG experience, which is what it was trying to be. The progression is just awful, no one can deny that, and has gotten worse with every single update tacked onto it. Since the devs don't want to go back and improve the experience on both first and second sea, you are left to suffer a boring experience just to reach third sea, which is where all the new content is being locked behind. And honestly, it has a pretty simple fix. On the first and second seas, all they have to do is make the progression faster, whether that be revamping the quests or just simply making the quests give more XP in, or give us better options to progress. Maybe add some more exploration on those islands, maybe add fishing to the game, just simply other ways to level up and have fun. It's that simple. Blox fundamentally will always be a bandit beater, and that's okay. That's what they have been aiming for since the start. Even the devs themselves have stated that Blox was just another cash grab, and just blew up far beyond what they were expecting. Another thing I think they should add is just more things to do on the island, but as it stands, each island they add every update is essentially just empty and has the same layout as the island added before it. Quests like the puzzle mission on the Gorilla Island are too far and in between, and seems like they just gave up adding unique things besides the bandits you have to beat up. Sure, grinding on Blox can be fun with friends at times, but as a standalone experience, it's just abysmal. Making that grind easier and smoother while adding more to the individual islands in a complete revamp would be amazing, and Blox has the funding, but the devs just insist on doing the bare minimum. Not to mention the unbalanced PvP that the game has had since Doe and Leopard were added to the game in update 17.3. The sad truth is that the devs don't have to add anything crazy to the updates because the game will always be popular, because the kids who play could care less if the game gets better. They're content with what they have, and that's okay. Even when I was a kid playing Blox, I knew it wasn't that good of a game then, and more so even now. But I understand that many kids just want to run around with their friends in an empty but seamless open world with the illusion of adventure. It's perfect for what Roblox wants in a game, and that's the unfortunate reality. The effect that Blox has on Roblox. Blox is essentially the biggest Roblox game of all time, garnering over 2 million players concurrent, which is higher than every Steam game right now. So therefore, of course, it will have tons of influence on people in the platform. Blox has single-handedly caused the death of creativity in Roblox One Piece games nowadays, as more games come out trying to replicate the success of this game, leading to an increase of mediocrity on the platform. Even other Roblox anime games have tried out the Blox formula, with other animes besides One Piece, leading to the unfortunate rift in the community we have now, where every game is just a copy of the last game that tried to copy Blox. And guess what? None of these games will beat Blox, because Blox is the originator. It will continuously lead the platform into a mass market of Blox clones, and this has already steadily been happening for several years now, and it's just become more noticeable recently. But it's not Blox's fault that it's such a big game, but at the least they could do with the millions of dollars that they are making, they could at least create an experience that is worth the time and hype. But we know that that will most likely never happen, because they won't have to, because their community will continue to eat up whatever they put out regardless. But I digress. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.